Hey everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. This is take 2. I don't know what to say. I thought that I would try to do something a little bit different in this video. I am stitching on my Alphonse Mucha, the moon, because I kind of sort of want to get her done. I gave myself a self-imposed deadline of May the 4th be with you 2019 because that's 2 years from when I started. So I am really trying to get some focus work done on her, and I thought, you know, I need to record a video, make it kind of sort of a stitch with me, but not, because you're not seeing what I'm stitching, and share my updates. So I completely recorded this whole video, had problems uploading it. I am recording it again, so oh god, I hope I remember everything I was going to say. I wanted to start off with talking about Oregon Snowpocalyspe 2019. Oregon doesn't know how to winter. While everybody else in the Midwest and on the East Coast is dealing with massive amounts of snow, we have rain. And then we get a threat of snow, and because of it, I haven't worked for the last week. My days off are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Last Tuesday, it started snowing. We got about an inch and a half. And then the weather warmed up and it started raining, and that snow turned to slush, and projected forecast for that night was mid-20s, which means that slush was going to turn into ice on the roads. And I was talking with the other bookkeeper at the store. We refer to each other as work wives. I was talking with her, and between the two of us, we decided that I was going to stay home Wednesday because the roads could be really icy Wednesday morning. When I woke up early Wednesday morning, it was 34 degrees outside, which means it was above freezing, which means I could have gotten to work just fine. But now I have a day off. Next couple of days, it rained. The weather was in the 30s. No snow, no freezing, no nothing. I made it up to Acorns and Threads on Thursday. We did errands on Friday. And then Friday night, it started raining. And I thought, okay, we'll see how this goes. When I got up Saturday morning, it wasn't raining, it was snowing. But there wasn't much snow outside, and I thought, okay, I can drive to work in this, it's not a problem. Well, as I take off driving, all of a sudden I felt like I was in a Star Wars movie because that snow was just coming at me. Face on, that's all I could see was the snow coming at me, and I couldn't see the road at all. 4 o'clock in the morning, it is dark out, the snow is just coming right at my face. I pulled into a driveway. I sent a text to the third bookkeeper, and I said, hey, can you cover me today? I sent a text to my bosses. I told them what the road conditions were like, or the driving conditions were like, and I said I'm not coming in. When I texted the third bookkeeper, I told her to make it up to her, I'd give her my Sunday too, just because. By the time I got home and the sky got light enough to see what was going on outside, there was no more snow. So who knows, if I had driven 15-20 more minutes, I probably would have been able to make it to the store with no problem at all. But as it was, I ended up having the weekend off too. And yeah, Oregon doesn't know how to winter. Our temperatures go down. You know, we have a lot of rain. The temperature drops, we get snow. We get a couple inches of accumulation, the temperature goes up, the snow goes away. My biggest issue is the ice on the roads. I have a 40-minute drive one way to work, and I just don't want to drive on the ice. So I've stayed home all weekend. I'll go back to work Wednesday. Snowpocalypse. It's just been crazy. But like I said, I got up to Acorns and Threads, and my plan going up to Acorns and Threads, because I want to get my Alphonse Mucha, the moon, what I'm working on right now, finished by May the 4th be with you 2019. This is what I took with me. I also took up a pattern with me to buy fabric. And I packed up my stand. I packed up my floss box. I packed up my pattern. I drove up to Acorns and Threads. I got everything out, got it all set up at the table. And I forgot one thing. On my table here, I have this stand, little metal stand, and on this little metal stand, I have my color chart and my symbols. And while I was up at Acorns and Threads, this was sitting on my table here by my chair. So, plans change. What am I going to do? Well, like I said, I had taken a pattern up there with me because I was going to get fabric to go along with it. So that became my new project. But before I get in that, I have to tell you about some other stuff that took place up at Acorns. So I had called Janine earlier in the week because Helen D messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, have you seen these? Hands On Design is putting out some new patterns at market called Spooky Apothecary. Yeah. I called Janine and I said, hey, are you going to market? She said, yes. I said, can you pre-order Spooky Apothecary for me? She said, yes. She asked me, she goes, do you want all 9 of them? I said, yes. Yeah, I need them. So when I was talking with her on the phone, she said, you have something up here in your bag. Janine keeps paper bags behind the counter with everybody's name on it. So when you order something for her, from her, and it comes in, she puts it in the bag. And she told me that I had a box up there. Well, the box was the little box that Jolene's husband made to finish her piece, Not Forgotten Farm, Rest Thy Scissors. And she also said there was something else in my bag. Okay. So I get up there Thursday, and Janine goes, do you want to see what's in your bag? Well, yeah, of course I do. She brings it out, and in the bag is the little box to finish Rest Thy Scissors. There's also a $10 off coupon. One of the things that Janine does up at the store is if you pay cash, you fill out your name on the back of a little red ticket, and they do a drawing, and if they draw you, you get $10 off your next purchase. Every time I've filled out one of those, I've said, you never call me. Well, that changed. They did call me. So, besides the box in my bag, I had that $10 off coupon. The other thing that was in the bag was a needle minder. And I showed a picture of this on Instagram. It was a Yoda needle minder. It's so cute, but I'm not going to show you just yet. So, I'm there at Acorns. I have my Alphonse Mucha to work on. I realize I don't have my color chart with me, so I can't work on it. I have to go pick out some fabric for Yoda because obviously I'm going to be starting something new. Went over to the fabrics, found 4 different greens to choose from because I figured this pattern had to be done on green. Yoda. And picked out my fabric, realized I don't have a Q-snap because they're all sitting upstairs because I didn't take anything with me to start a new project because I was going to work on Alphonse Mucha. I had planned on purchasing fabric and needles. I got fabric and needles and floss and a Q-snap and a needle minder. This stuff happens. It's life. It's all good. So I started working on my Yoda pattern up at Acorns and Threads. And this meetup was a small one. I haven't showed you Yoda yet. I'll get to him. This was a small meetup. There was Stephanie, Wendy, Jennifer with an N. Next to me was Margaret and Sandy. These 2 ladies, it was their first time coming to this meetup. And later on in the day, Anna showed up. Anna had been there before too. So it was really kind of nice because it was a small meetup and you get more of a chance to talk at a small meetup. So we chatted, we shared, we talked, had a good time. It was really, really nice. I ended up leaving a little bit early because, weather is sketchy and yeah, Mark was making dinner for me. So I wanted to head out early. I got home and I put all my stitching away. Pause for a second. I have to think about something. Repeating my video, I had to stop and think about where I was going and what I was saying. I got home from Acorns and Mark was making dinner. And I put all my stuff away and then I sat down here to sit and stitch for a few minutes. And I hear Mark in the kitchen, he's cooking, and he goes, "Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble." And I had to giggle. The man gets me. He just gets me. So we're not big on doing things for Halloween. We do things for each other all the time and show the way we love each other in so many different ways without, going overboard buying candy and cards and flowers and things like that. So him standing in the kitchen, bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, yeah, I know he loves me. When we were out and about on Friday is the day that I have chosen to work on my Alphonse Mucha, but I knew with all those errands that I wouldn't get much done on her on Friday, which is why I took her to Acorns. But when we were done with all the errands, we had to stop at one place here in Silverton. I went in to pick something up. Mark went over to the pawn shop, which was right next door, to talk to the owner because he knows the guy and they've visited many times before. And when he comes back out to the car, he's hiding something from me. He gets in the car and he looks at me and he goes, "You have to be nice to me." Well, I think I'm nice to him most of the time. What he found for me in the pawn shop is a little cauldron. It's a teeny tiny little cauldron. But he gets me and he loves me. So I got a cauldron. He's the best. So, got home, worked on some other things, and I have a couple finishes to share with you now. First of all, I got some mail from my sister witch on Instagram, Stacy Postal Stitcher. She sent me 2 cards, and in each card there was goodies. She was the one that asked me what color of DMC floss Mark was stitching his Jeep, and I told her it was 798. So in one of the cards she sent me a heart and hand pattern and a skein of DMC 798. So I'm thinking that I'm going to stitch this little pattern up so that Mark can have it out in his shop or man cave or whatever he decides to call it. The other thing she sent me was a freebie pattern, and it's in a card, and Vicky, on the back of the card it says no spiders allowed. Just saying, she gets me. I'll be talking more about Vicky later. She sent me a freebie pattern, and she sent me the variegated DMC 107. So I took the little freebie pattern, and I had a new start and a finish and an FFO, and here it is. This is Love, stitched on black Aida. It's either 16 count or 18 count. I haven't counted and I'm not going to, but there it is. It's really cute. I like that variegated floss. I think it's really pretty. Stitched it up with smoky fabric on the back, and then I took Vanna's idea and I took a little piece of Aida, cut it into a heart shape, stitched my initials on it and glued it on there, and I have a little pillow that sits on my cauldron. My other finish is my little book. This is one of those books that you can stitch on. I got this one at Joann's. It's a 6 by 8 inch size. The one that I did for a giveaway, that Belinda one, was 3 by 5. Like I said, it was smaller than the size of my hand. This one, obviously bigger. This pattern came out of Just Cross Stitch 2014, I think. And I played with the colors because we do. I used Harvest Moon for the moon, the hair, the broom. Harvest Moon was the floss that Stacy had sent me when I was working on Witch on Duty. And then I used Black Crow for the dress. And as you can see, I don't stitch back and forth when I'm using variegated floss because I don't want the stripy look. I stitch in patches. So I kind of do the outline and go in a little bit, and I'd move down and, up and down and back and forth and sideways because I want it to be patchy, not stripe. That's just not me. The other thing that I did with her is, oh, that's a really good picture right there. When I was doing the background, I used 3 different colors of blue. I used 162, 800, and 813. And I used the 162, which is the lightest blue, and the 813, which is the darkest blue. And I went around and I just stitched them in random places across the background. And then I filled everything in with the 800. It took... On this one, I only used 3 strands of floss. I speak well. 3 strands of floss to stitch on this one. It used 3.5 skeins of 800 to do the background on this. But there she is. She's fully finished. She has a face, so she's not Voldawitch anymore. But I am using this to record my stitching 2019. Alrighty. So besides trying to work on Alphonse Mucha, I have to go back and talk about that. Friday morning, I posted a picture of where I was at on Instagram of my Alphonse Mucha. And I'm using my hashtag #finish1challenge. And I went to look and see if anybody had added any pictures to it, because I know one other person on Instagram, Just Gal For You, had posted a piece that she was working on. So when I went to look at this hashtag, I noticed that there was another post in there. This one was from Heather, Linkismyhomeboy. It was a link to her video, and I thought, I gotta go check this out, see what she's saying. So I went and watched her video, and she talked about Michelle Rudy's challenge, #Stitch9challenge, which I'm not doing. And then she mentioned my #Finish1challenge. And she talks about me working on this and wanting to get it done by May the 4th be with you 2019. And I felt like I was called out in a good way. In a good way. But I felt, oh, the pressure. Somebody knows. I mean, I told you all, but somebody knows and commented on their video, and now I've got to get her done by May the 4th be with you. Pressure. So I'm working on her. I'm working on her every chance I get, because I got to do this now, because Heather called me out. It's all good. It's all good. I have been working on some other things, so let me show you what I got there. One of my projects, Little Shop of Horrors. I got a little bit of work done on this. I was stitching the letters Little Shop of, and I messed up. If you look at this, there is a red border, and then there's 2 orange lines, and the top of the letters was supposed to be right under that second orange line, and I put a space in between them. So the space between Little and Shop of, there's supposed to be 2 spaces there. There's only 1 space there. Is it going to make a difference? No. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm just going to finish filling it in and go from there. I got a little bit more of the vine done over here, and as you can see, I am working on the black, continuing the side down there so that I can get the bottom done. I am keeping the floss for Audrey, Little Shop of Horrors, in my Floss Buddy. I love this. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. The other day when my granddaughters came over, they both commented on it. They think it's really pretty. The youngest one looked at me and goes, "Grandma, I see boobies." I said, "Yeah, it's okay if you see boobies. We're women. We got boobies. We got them. There you go." Granddaughters. Okay. Next piece that I have been working on is Midnight Journey. And I got started on the moon. I have finished Santa. I finished the reindeer that are underneath there. They're all back stitched. I had to place the moon. And I did a running stitch. I looked on the pattern over here, and I figured out where it was going to match up off of Santa's sleigh, and I just did a running stitch so that I could get my spacing correct and get my moon lined up where it's supposed to be, because I know that if it was even a half a stitch off, it would bug me, because I'm that way, and I want this to be an heirloom piece. So I put a running stitch in there. I show a picture of that on Instagram. And then I got the outside of my moon done, and all I have to do is fill in the inside and a little bit of back stitching on the moon, and then all of the stitching on this is done, and I can put it together as my mantle scarf. Another lady on Instagram posted a picture of this book, Santa's Great Book. It's Leisure Arts. A friend found it in a thrift store for 50 cents. I found mine in a thrift store too. I paid $1. But this is the book that Midnight Journey is in. So there's that project. The next project that I'm working on, I told you about stitching with Nikki, Kanicki's Prims and Whims. This is her Winterberry Snowman. When I was talking with her, somewhere up here I missed like 4 stitches, and this outside line was going to come in too close to the vine here, so I had to go back and I unpicked all of that, restitched it. I got some more on the second snowman here. I got the berries put in. I put a different smile on this snowman because I didn't like the smile that was on that snowman, so I personalized it. So I have a little bit more progress on this one too. So follow Nikki's hashtag Winterberry Snowman Sal. I think right now, besides Nikki herself, I think there's 3 of us that are posting on IG, Instagram with that hashtag. Okay, Yoda. Get to talk about the Yoda. So I'm up at Acorns and Threads, and I have to get fabric to start Yoda. I went over and I looked at what Janine had, and I knew I wanted green fabric. I found 4 of them, and 2 of them were 28 count, 2 of them were 32 count, 2 of them were kind of a sage green, one was kind of a dingier sage green, one was Monster Mash, and one was Riviera Olive, which is what I ended up choosing. I asked Jolynn to help me. She goes, what colors is Yoda going to be stitched in? I said, well, it's 2 colors. It's black and 415 DMC. So she went and grabbed a skein of each, and she put them on the fabric, and she goes, which one speaks to you? And the one that spoke to me was the Riviera Olive. First of all, I have to show you Yoda. That's my Yoda needle minder. He's just so pretty. So pretty. Obviously, this is the Riviera Olive. When I paid for these, Janine took the DMC 310 back, and she gave me Anchor Black. She said, better coverage. It's a deeper color, and I think you'll like the coverage better. So that's what I've been stitching with. And here is Yoda. This is what I got done up at the meetup. I got his head done. Friday, when we went and ran our errands, I took this with me because I'm just stitching with black, and I knew that I would have time at our getting our taxes done, and when we went to lunch. And so that is how far I have got with him. And I really want to focus on him, but I have to focus on the moon because I have a deadline, because Heather called me out on it. I mean, I know I imposed it myself, but I'm feeling pressure now. It's all good. It's all good. So in my last video, I got cut off at the end, and I was trying to do some shout outs, and there was the people that I was trying to shout out at the end were the Witchy Stitchers. It's a mom and daughter. They now have 4 videos out. I've heard other people shout them out too, so go check them out. I had to check them out because Stitchy Witch, Witchy Stitchers, yeah, it works for me. And then yesterday, I got a comment on one of my videos from a lady obviously watching my videos, and she goes, "Ha ha ha, I'm getting ready to upload my first video because of you." Okay, so I contacted her back. I said, "Let me know when it's up and I'll go watch it." She had also commented that she was binge watching me. Binge watching me? Okay. Thank you to everybody who watches me. Thank you for those who have liked, who have subscribed. But binge watching me? A couple other people have told me they've done that. And thank you. I think it's a little crazy, but thank you. Anyway, so I went to watch her video. Her name is Songs Lover. Capital S-O-N-G-S, capital L-O-V-E-R. She did, it's actually 2 videos. It's video 1, part A and B. So I'm watching her videos, and she is talking in the second one about how she had found FlossTube, but wasn't really hooked on it, and then she found somebody that she really liked, and she sat down and she watched all of her videos. So she and I are commenting back and forth through my video, and as I'm watching this, and on her video she goes, hashtag Audrey's a bully. She was watching Vicky. She's Team Vicky. StitchNButton. She's Team Vicky. I had to get my tissues out. She's Team Vicky. Hashtag Audrey is a bully. Then she said in her video that when she finished with them, she decided to go watch some of the people that Vicky had mentioned, and of course Vicky mentioned me. I don't know why. And she was binge watching me. She was up to video number 20. This is video 68. She has a ways to go. Check her out. Songs Lover. She is from New Zealand. She lives in the UK. She's 27 years old. And check her out. Give her some love, because we always need new people to watch. There is no getting caught up on FlossTube, so we just need to have more, because more is good. Anyway, I think that I covered everything that I covered in my last video. I want to get this done before my cell phone cuts me out like it did last time. So I'm going back to work on Wednesday because I'm done with Snowpocalyspe 2019. Oregon doesn't know how to winter. It rains, it gets cold, it gets warm, the snow goes away, it gets icy, it rains, it goes up, it goes down. I have to go back to work. I missed 3 days because of Snowpocalyspe. Mark's situation with his payments, his employment payments, was resolved. He got all 3 weeks paid. He also got a week of work here, and so everything with that is all good and back on track, and life is moving forward. Taxes are done. We're getting a refund. It's all good. Anyway, until next time, live long and stitch on, my friends. See you later. Bye-bye.